5 goals, a clean sheet, Martinelli rediscovers his shooting boots. But are Arsenal really good enough to win the Premier League this season? I have to say, I don't think they are. So without further ado, let's get into it. Vamos! You may think that after a 5-0 victory, I'll be waxing lyrical about Arsenal and their title chances this season.
That would be very nice.
But the purist sees things a little differently. Although they swept aside a pretty average Crystal Palace side today, I think there's 3 main reasons why Arsenal won't win the Premier League this season. Reason number 1 is the goalkeeper. If you look back through Premier League history at all the winners of the title, you'll see that nearly every championship winning side had an absolute monster of a goalkeeper, a real superstar at the very top of the world game. We're talking the Schmeichels, the Seamans, the Petr Cechs, the Van der Sars.
There's no question with that.
David Raya, although a very decent keeper, just isn't up to the level of the names I've just mentioned. He barely had anything to do today, but for the first time he was called upon, he made a mistake with his feet that allowed Palace a shot on goal, which, on another day and with a bit more luck, could have flown into the back of the net.
Really lucky that didn't count.
It's all well and good making these types of mistakes against the lesser teams, but if that ball landed at the feet of a De Bruyne, a Foden, a Diogo Jota, even a James Maddison, the result could have been very, very different. It's the small margins that can decide titles, and when Arsenal will be under pressure in the really huge games against the top sides, I'm not sure that David Raya is up to the job.
It's just not something that sits well with me.
I have to be honest, I still have to call into question the wisdom of bringing in David Raya after Aaron Ramsdale's performances last season.
It makes no sense.
I've seen absolutely nothing so far from Raya to suggest that he's a better goalkeeper than Aaron Ramsdale. And if we're judging Ramsdale's performances from last season against Raya's performances from this season, for me, there's only one winner. I also can't help but feel this would have caused a massive effect in the dressing room, especially amongst allies of Ramsdale. And I can't help but feel it's a huge decision that just didn't need to be made.
I have to talk about facts, because I think it's important.
What do you guys think about Mikel Arteta's decision to replace Aaron Ramsdale? Let me know in the comment section below. Reason number 2, the elusive 20-goal-a-season striker.
Top players who can finish and change a game.
I'm not giving you any great insight here because this has been mentioned in football circles and in the press for a long time now, yet still the problem isn't resolved. Look, I'm a huge fan of Gabriel Jesus.
He gives everything. He physically today was so good.
I have been since his Manchester City days. I think he's a really, really good footballer and one of the better forwards in the Premier League. But as proved again today, he's not going to be the man to get you 20 goals a season and push you over the line for a Premier League championship. Although the final score was 5-0 today, the wind was pretty much knocked out of Palace in the first half after going 2-0 down, and the 3 goals that followed simply put a nice sheen on the scoreline.
Boom.
With all the quality that Arsenal possess in midfield and out wide, with their patterns of play, their 1- and 2-touch football, I really feel that if they had a genuine, top-class and clinical number 9, that they would put most teams to the sword. They're still heavily reliant on goals from Saka and Martinelli, which are considerably lower than this stage of the season when compared to last year.
Obviously, we need more goals, right?
Again, I have to call into question Mikel Arteta's wisdom in spending 60-odd million quid on Kai Havertz. When the money clearly could have been better spent on a world-class number 9.
The term elite, like world class, is thrown around like confetti.
I'm pretty sure that for 70 or 80 million quid you could have got Victor Osimhen out of Napoli.
The guy's a magician.
Even taken a punt on Robert Lewandowski from Barca.
I can't speak highly enough of him. I think he's amazing.
Ivan Toney could yet be the solution, but that will be for next year now. Are there any other number 9s in world football who you think could do the job up top for Arsenal? Again, let me know in the comments section below. My third and final reason why Arsenal won't win the Premier League this season: Champions League commitments. The style in which Arsenal play, the quick passing, the 1- and 2 touch, doing things at pace, I think lends itself perfectly to the Champions League.
You think so?
When you play in the Champions League and you come up against teams of a high quality who are used to winning, who believe in themselves and who are prepared to attack rather than sitting and play on the counter, Arsenal's style of play really poses a threat in this competition.
There's no question with that.
With all that in mind, I think Arsenal can have a really good run in the Champions League this year.
You think so?
But obviously, it has a huge impact on their Premier League ambitions. When you get to the latter stages of the Champions League and you start coming up against the teams like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, you're coming up against the best of the best, against superstar players in every position, and those away trips in the 2-leggers take an awful lot out of your team.
They ran They bloody ran.
Arsenal's squad is a lot thinner than their two main rivals for the Premier League, Liverpool and Manchester City.
My feeling today, we're going to win the Premier League. Today, if you ask me, we're going to win the Premier League.
And seeing as they're still so reliant on Saka, Odegaard and now Declan Rice, you'd expect to see these three playing every minute of every big game from now until the end of the season.
It's getting tricky and sticky.
This is a huge ask physically, and whereas City and Liverpool have pretty much like-for-like replacements in nearly every position all over the pitch, Arsenal do not.
Boom.
Last season, losing William Saliba for a run of games towards the end really cost them dearly.
We really like him.
And this season, let's say if they lose Odegaard or maybe Saka or maybe both through suspension, for injury or whatever else for 4 or 5 of the remaining Premier League games, it massively brings down the level of the team and there simply isn't a like-for-like replacement.
We're still fighting for this title.
Look, I think Arsenal are comfortably the third best team in the Premier League.
You think so?
But in order to overturn the top two, Man City and Liverpool, they're going to need to add some real depth and some more quality to their squad in the summer.
There's no question with that.
But as their squad stands right now, I just don't think they've quite got enough.
I don't have said that. You have said that.
If you agree or disagree with the 3 reasons I've just given why Arsenal can't win the Premier League this season, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. I hope to see you on the next video, but for now, adios.
¿Qué pasa con Cuja?